The opposition rejects Briceño's statement on the Budna investigation. But what are they going to do about it? Well, that's what we asked today. And Compol Rosado returned to work today. We'll look at the protective firewall that government has built around him. Plus, Belize opened its borders to 3 CARICOM countries today. They can come here to live and work, but has the government done enough to educate the public about it? Well, that's what the UDP asked today. Also, we'll take you to day 1 of the tax amnesty fair to see who came out for it. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight, Wednesday, October 1st, 2025. Good evening. With your news, I'm Inder Craig.
You know,
this newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
Shop smart for your Samsung devices in Belize and enjoy benefits you won't get anywhere else. When you shop locally for your Samsung, all your devices will be covered by a 1-year local warranty. You won't get that when shopping with the other guys. When in doubt, always look for the Cellular World seal to know you're getting the real deal. Shop with confidence and enjoy your Galaxy knowing that it can be repaired locally at our Samsung Service Center by certified Samsung technicians using original parts and machinery. Even better, enjoy the best LTE experience in Belize, knowing that your Samsung devices are compatible with major local carrier networks. Get the ultimate Samsung Galaxy experience only when you shop from authorized Samsung resellers nationwide.
I want to do farming, fruits, vegetables, anything. You don't have to go out there and buy, you have your own thing.
This never happened when I come in too, baby. That's what you do.
200 lots, more lots than people in the land of Ocasio. So when I pick them when I ban yet to get land.
You could look at all of them, how happy they are. They're so, man, these people don't know how to express themselves right now.
People who have never had a land before, will live here for years, finally get something to say, okay, I have something in my name,
So when you get your piece of land, you have to hold on to your land. You have something to pass on to your picnic.
Use your land, make it useful.
Don't sell your land because it is gold. You're investing in your own selves and your children down the road.
I know how to say thank again because it's a great achievement.
Hey Belize! Our country is known worldwide for its natural beauty, from our barrier reef to our rainforest. But there's a growing threat to our paradise. Global plastic production has skyrocketed to 400 million tons per year, and without action, plastic waste flowing into our waters will nearly triple by 2040, from around 11 million tons in 2016 to around 29 million tons in 2040. Here at home, the situation is just as concerning. In 2024 alone, Belize imported over 13.3 million plastics and over 12 million plastic lids and caps. What might seem like just one plastic bottle or one chips bag adds up quickly. During our National Cleanup Day, almost 26,000 plastic bottles were collected, and that's just one day of effort. But here's the good news. We can all be part of the solution. Use waste bins, keep a litter bag in your car, wait until you find a proper disposal site. These simple actions make a real difference. Join us in keeping Belize clean. Our Belize, our responsibility. Binic.
Years ago, the stage went dark for Shine Barrow.
Shine Jamal Barrow is back in Belize.
But he never wanted to be here.
I don't want to be in Belize. Grant me a visa. Being a parliamentarian was not my ambition in life. I could very well be a billionaire right now. I could have very well sold hundreds of millions of records more.
So he used us, first to get a diplomatic visa, so he could film a multi-million-dollar vanity project about his own greatness. We saw where his priorities were.
In the middle of the campaign season, Barrow flew out of the country en route to New York City.
He never cared about us. And now that they've let him back in,
We are going to do 2 more albums because we have a TV series coming out.
so that's what it was all about. That's why he's held our opposition hostage, why he's given more power to the most despotic government in Belize's history, and why we as a nation have no hope for the future. So now, Shine, you've gotten what you've always wanted.
Hello, Bibs. New York City.
It's time you do the honorable thing and step down.
The roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for the journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, insuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
In 2025, work started on a 9.5-mile road upgrade between the communities of Spanish Lookout and Bullet Tree. The project, spearheaded by the Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing, will create a climate-resilient network connecting Bullet Tree, Santa Familia, Billy White, Duck Run 1, and Spanish Lookout. This road is critical as it is the only route available to farmers when there are flooding events that affect the area.
It's like a dream come true because it's not from right now we want it. It's from way before. Like we travel almost once a week, so it's perfect.
I experienced a lot of difficulties on vehicles, motorcycles. The last time I spent $3,500 on my vehicle, and sometimes whenever you go for labor costs more than the parts. And then I see that's a very good improvement that's doing on the road because it's efficiently good for the vehicles and I think for the drivers as well.
Too much dust, too much holes on the road, and when it rains, too much flood. Sometimes we can't pass for 2 or 3 days.
Before the road get fixed, honestly, I only travel this road because I have to. If I had a choice, I wouldn't travel this road at all. I mean, every couple of feet you go down another big hole, and you have to drive slow. And when it rains, the road will get really muddy, vehicles will get stuck in at the side and all kind of thing.
We really appreciate it, and I know it's taking a little time, but it looks very good, neat.
People working on this, the government working on this road is very improving, and it's a very nice quality of material and very good road that's coming. Thank for these people that are working on these roads.
This road is a special road for us in the West. It's connecting one of the most productive communities, which is Spanish Lookout, to the rest of the Cayo district. We are one family in Belize, and we are trying to have that intersection between our cultures, our style, our way of living, and our way of thinking. The MIDH has not failed you, it will not fail you, and we will continue to work as hard as we can.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Last night we told you all about the much anticipated statement coming out of Cabinet about the Budna investigation. They have decided to launch an independent investigation and return Commissioner Richard Rosado to duty. Today the UDP rejected those recommendations in an almost 2-hour-long press conference. The leader of the opposition called yesterday's release a slap to the face of the Belizean public.
It was with great dismay that I read the press statement that was disseminated yesterday by the Prime Minister following his cabinet meeting. In my view, such a statement and the lack of any relevant information is a slap, a hard slap in the faces of all Belizeans. It is, in my humble view, a national disgrace and signals what has now become the hallmark of this Briceño administration. There are always more questions than answers. The question is, who is John Briceño protecting and why? If indeed the government wishes to restore any semblance of public confidence, then it must address this matter with openness and the highest degree of transparency.
And while an independent investigation would seem to suggest a certain level of transparency, Panton pointed out that there is no mechanism for that.
There is no such thing as an independent investigation in this country, and there is no such legislative framework to facilitate this notion of an independent investigation. And so if it is that Cabinet is not now discussing how they are going to put in the right regulatory framework for this to occur, we know this is all hogwash. We ask that the full police inquiry report and the case file be immediately submitted to the DPP's office. That there be an establishment of an independent mechanism to provide oversight over this investigation. either by way of a commission of inquiry or the appointment of an independent prosecutor that is insulated from cabinet's interference with powers to subpoena and comply testimony.
And while that independent mechanism is awaiting advice from the Attorney General, the leader of the opposition says that Commissioner Richard Rosado should do the honorable thing and step down.
Commissioner Rosado publicly contradicted himself and misled Belizeans on multiple occasions. In any credible system, he would have stepped aside willingly, not placed on leave, until the investigation is complete. Instead, what Cabinet announced yesterday, that he is now being reinstated with immediate effect. This, my friends, is a political decision. Not one based on any professionalism, and further erodes and destroys public trust. The surveillance videos, which seem to have gone away, have not even been mentioned, are critical evidence. They can either confirm or deny what happened. Why have these surveillance videos not been released for the public? We have nothing to hide. The responsibility of the government is to get behind what happened and to ensure that the perpetrators are held to account. Until the videos are handed over to the DPP and made public, Belizeans can only assume that there's something to hide.
And Panton says if there's nothing to hide, government should release the investigative report which was presented to the Prime Minister.
We deserve the entire report, not selective snippets filtered through Cabinet. It seems that Cabinet is acting as its own kangaroo court, reviewing evidence in secret, deciding who is implicated and who may not be implicated, and worse, seeking to protect its own. The secrecy and the selective exposure raises chilling questions. Was this a state-sanctioned kidnapping?
We should note that under the Freedom of Information Act, documents affecting enforcement and administration of the law are exempted, meaning they are not subject to public release. So, that means we only know one investigative finding from the report, and it is that Commissioner of Police Richard Rosado has been found blameless in the abduction. Jules Vasquez found that odd, and here's why.
Yesterday's cabinet release discussed a 22-day investigation, which concluded that, guess what? There needs to be another investigation. This one independent. But the only finding of fact in the report which was disclosed to the public is that, quote, the evidence as disclosed in the inquiry report does not in any way implicate Commissioner of Police Dr. Richard Rosado, end quote. So the investigation in that regard has concluded. And now whatever independent investigator is appointed or whatever independent mechanism is used, the message is clear. there is a firewall around Richard Rosado. Nothing to find there. According to this report, he had no involvement. So since the investigation reached such a central conclusion, then is that investigation finished? It seems a very dubious place to start when one considers that the abductee, Joseph Budna, claims the commissioner's name was called repeatedly.
One of them shouting and say, compel the call, compel the and the guy stopped again. All directive was given to the driver. So the driver jumped out of the vehicle again, stopped and spoke on phone with the compel.
The allegation by Mr. Budna includes a claim that calls were made in the car to compel, saying that we have the man. What do you say in response to that?
Like I said, anybody could see anything, and if I would get $1 for every rumor that is being made, I would be a millionaire by now.
And if we go back to the Mahogany Street Police Station on August 21st, where Constable Barry Flowers, who was on leave, picked up a 9mm pistol from Sergeant Jacinto Roches the day before the abduction. Where did the authorization come from? Reports tell us it came from a senior officer. But who gave that officer the order? That's the critical question that remains unanswered. And will an independent investigator be able to ask the Commissioner of Police if it was him? That question appears to have already been answered. Today, the leader of the opposition said he should not be allowed to go back.
The Commissioner, in my view, should not be allowed to go back to his office. And I hope that the division will continue to sound the alarm. He's a man of influence. So who is going to investigate him when he is in charge of the very department that is tasked with doing the investigation? Who is going to ask him questions? Who is going to try and learn evidence from him? Who?
And so while it seems no one can investigate the commissioner, Panton had deeper question about what an official cover-up would signify.
And what is the preliminary report? It was as a 1-pager, 2-pager, 3-pager. What is the preliminary report? And why? This is the one that gets me. Reinstate the Commissioner of Police at this time when there is no conclusive findings, according to Cabinet, on this matter. All Cabinet can determine is that he is not involved. And if they can make that determination, they need to tell us how they made that determination. Not just a single statement saying he can now go back forthwith, right away. The question I ask again is, who is the Prime Minister protecting? This administration is on a fast track to being an authoritarian government. And that is not what we have signed up for. If Cabinet can be allowed to interfere in a criminal investigation, if Cabinet can be allowed to conceal evidence, if Cabinet can be allowed to reinstate officials who are under suspicion or at bare minimum scrutiny, then we Belize risk becoming a state where state-sanctioned kidnappings and justice for all are suppressed. Justice for Joseph Budna means justice for all Belizeans. We will not relent. We cannot relent. We must ensure that our Belize remains a nation of laws, not a nation of political cover-ups.
And if you believe the opposition, the country is on the precipice of a sinister turn in public affairs. So what are they going to do about it? That's what we asked.
But what is the opposition able to do other than doing the same thing I do, make a lot of noise and complain? You all are a mass party. When are you all, or do you all plan at any point to mobilize visible public resistance against these unpopular decisions?
We, the opposition, is doing what the opposition can do. You are waiting for us to stage a mass demonstration. At least that's what you'll be doing to the last time. But before we can get to mass demonstration, we need to educate the Belizean people. We all know, and you know intimately, that the party is rebuilding brick by brick. We have been in a very difficult place. We're not at full strength. We are still in the process of cementing our team. And so we are doing all that we can do in this present scenario. And when we're able to do more, we will do more. But what I will say, we are not going to allow this administration to sweep those issues under the rug.
There'll be more from the UDP's extra-long press conference later on in the news, but when we come back, we'll tell you about 2 customs officers who are expected to be criminally charged tomorrow. Plus, Belize opened its borders to 3 CARICOM countries today. They can come here to live and work, but has the government done enough to educate the public about it? Don't go away.
October 1st marks the 35th celebration of the International Day of Older Persons. This year's theme, Older Persons Driving Local and Global Action, Our Aspirations, Our Well-Being, Our Rights, resonates deeply here at home. Our senior citizens are the bedrock of our communities. Their experience has built our nation, and their wisdom continues to guide us. Our senior citizens are not passive members of our communities, but active change makers who contribute to our society's resilience and development. In this spirit, I am proud to affirm our government's commitment to taking decisive action in protecting the well-being of our seniors, from expanding NHI and the Boost programs to actively working on establishing of laws and policies specifically to protect the rights and dignity of our older persons. As the world grows older, Belize must grow wiser. To our younger generations, aging is not someone else's story. It's your future. Stand with our elders. Learn from them. Advocate beside them. Help build a Belize where growing older is not a burden, but a badge of honor. Together, let's create a society where every age is valued and every person is protected. Happy International Day of Older Persons to all.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
When working with sheetrock, you need screws that give you quick penetration for a speedy, stable installation. Best Screws, fast frame and fast finish drywall screws are specifically designed for you. Engineered by Best Manufacturing, Best Screws makes every job faster and easier. These screws offer reliable performance with a superior hold. You also save money due to Best Screws affordability. They are cheaper than the leading brands. Get the job done quickly without compromising on strength. For all your drywall installations, get Best Screws Fast Frame and Fast Finish. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
Here's how to access your contribution history on the My Social Security portal. First, go to your browser and type ssbportal.org.bz. Enter your email and password, then click Log In. Once logged in, you'll see your full portal account on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice a drop-down menu for added features. Click on History. Choose Contributions. Read the disclaimer, then click Continue. You'll now see a full window displaying your contribution history. In the table, each row represents a different year. For example, let's look at the year 2024. Click on the row and a detailed breakdown will appear. This breakdown includes your employer's name, your earnings for each month and week, contribution type, the amounts paid, and that's how you can explore the new contribution feature on the My Social Security portal. It's quick, easy, and keeps your Social Security information right at your fingertips. Create your account today.
That's the question on everyone's mind. Everyone except John Briceño. It seems he may be going out of his way not to know.
Have you asked the ministers personally whether they had any involvement?
We never had no discussion.
He didn't ask. Why would he choose not to know? Or does he already know the answer? Is that why he put his constituent in charge of the investigation?
He rejected the Minister of Home Affairs suggestions for an independent investigation. This is not a good faith effort.
Or why he's refused to release any of the surveillance videos?
So there is erasure, there is suppression, there is diversion.
Do you expect that it will include the aspect of the footage being deleted?
I have no idea about that. The Prime Minister offends every principle of how our democracy works because he refuses to report to the people who elected him. If you wanted to get to the truth, and you don't, you are perpetrating a cover-up.
He hasn't asked the questions everyone wants to know. He rejected an independent investigation. He has no idea about deleted evidence. The song on the street is Who Thief Budna? But maybe the real question is, who is Prime Minister Briceño protecting?
These chartered remains aren't from
We're
an
navigating
airplane.
along the coastline.
This morning, the
Northern
2023.
Good evening. Good evening. I'm Sherry Halsell, and here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Crack.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
It is a pleasure really for me to join you here today in an important milestone in Belize's journey towards sustainable transportation, where we officially hand over these 3 intercity buses to the management contract awardee, the Westline Bus Company.
This project is directly aligned with Belize's raised ambition under its updated nationally determined contribution to the UN and its low emission development strategy. And we are very happy to support these national commitments and ensuring that Belize can meet its targets for climate action and for sustainable development as a whole, while modernizing its transport sector.
I'm happy that Westline was chosen as the first private partner of the government of Belize. We worked very hard in putting this project together. We think that it is about time that the transport industry in Belize improves.
We here, all of us, can share in the vision
of one day in Belize very soon, in the next few years. We do not have to be subjected to a mediocre, substandard bus service for our people. One of the messages we'd want to take from here today is that when we work together, when we're not afraid to imagine and see that if we work together, we can turn these things into reality.
Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sun Up on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your nation station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
In April, we first reported on the bust of more than 100 pounds of weed at the Belize City Customs headquarters. 2 customs officers, a brother and sister, were implicated, and after more than 5 months of investigation, reports are that they will be made to face criminal charges tomorrow. We will let you know what those charges are once they are laid. It will be the first time in recent memory that customs officers are made to face charges related to drug trafficking. A 26-year-old police officer has been formally arrested and charged with rape. Police have not released his name or rank and have only disclosed basic details to protect the identity of the victim. The report says a 22-year-old Belizean woman from southern Belize reported that on Friday, September 26th, about 11:30 p.m., she was socializing with friends and family. After socializing, she was offered a ride home by the cop who raped her during the journey. She was accused of hooking up with a male suitor on Facebook in November of 2024 and robbing him of $730 worth of items from his house, including a few pounds of snapper and lobster. Now, 21-year-old Kimane Garbut, a.k.a. Kimmy Boo, is back in the news after she pleaded guilty to theft. In Magistrate's Court today, Garbut charge changed, that is her plea, from not guilty to guilty, and was fined $505 for theft. She told the magistrate, Manon Dennison, that she was pregnant at the time and the complainant had promised her money. The magistrate accepted her plea, changed, and she must pay her bill by November 30th of 2025 or face 3 months imprisonment. On Monday, we told you about the brutal chopping incident that occurred in San Lazaro village on Sunday night. The victim, 37-year-old Eduardo Contreras, sustained multiple chop wounds and remains hospitalized in a critical condition. Police have detained one person for questioning, and last night he was officially charged. He is 22-year-old Jael Ayala, and he was charged with the crime of use of deadly means of harm and maim. In other news, on Monday, police in Camalote village found 21-year-old Taishuan Henry in possession of a 9mm pistol, a magazine, and 6 live rounds of ammunition. Henry allegedly ran off, leaving behind the weapon, but was later apprehended by police. He was formally arrested and charged for the crime of kept firearm without a gun license and kept ammunition without a gun license. Turning now to regional news, Belize today joined Barbados, Dominica, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines by implementing the full free movement of their nationals among these 4 countries. Simply put, it means nationals from these 4 countries will be able to travel to any of these 4 countries to reside, work, and remain indefinitely, with the right to access emergency and primary health care, as well as public, primary, and secondary education for their children. It's a major leap forward in regional integration, and while we have seen addresses from the Prime Ministers of Barbados and Dominica telling their citizens why it's being done and what to expect, in Belize the best we got was a black and white press release. Today, the UDP's Senior Senator Patrick Farber lamented the lack of public awareness efforts.
I am willing to bet that if the media people were to take their cameras on the streets and ask the Belizean people what this means to them, they will tell you all they have no clue. I'm willing to bet that if you go in the churches, I'm willing to bet that if you go to the market, I'm willing to bet that if you go into the business places and ask the employers, the potential employers, what is the full-scale effect of Belize signing on to this and it coming into effect today, October 1st, they will tell you that they don't know, and that is to be put squarely on the shoulders of the government of Belize. One of the other 4 countries, my friends, is Barbados. And the Prime Minister of Barbados held a press conference to inform the Foreign Minister of Barbados the minute he came back from the Jamaica CARICOM heads meeting, where the Foreign Ministers sometimes attend. He went back and held a press conference in his country, and he was able to share what the sectors of the public were doing, what the various ministries were doing. He took on the tough questions, but in Belize, we don't know. We have not a clue what is going to happen should people from these other countries, that our country cannot handle the issues that we're having among our own citizenry in this country, but we're going to take on more without a plan.
According to the release, systems have been established to allow for registration of incoming nationals, enabling access to services such as education and health care, and allowing national agencies to plan for any increased demand. And another UDP senator, the one from Belize Rural South, spoke about next week's referendum on that island. Though the UDP is the party which first decriminalized marijuana possession in 2015, they have profound misgivings about next week's referendum.
Knowingly that this will have national implications, we cannot create a kingdom within a kingdom. If decisions can impact an entire nation, so the nation should also be consulted. Second, the banking question. For years, Belize has relied on correspondent banking, like U.S. intermediary banks. What provisions will ensure that revenues coming from the cannabis do not jeopardize the relationships we have with these banks? It's not only about Key Carker, but for the entire country of Belize. Thirdly, youth protection and marketing exposure. If this passes, our young people will be exposed not only as the way they project it is that this will be marketed only to tourism, but I refuse to accept that. I also think that this will be exposed to our local and to our youths. It's bound to happen. I tell you, as a business, their ultimate goal will be to maximize revenue, maximize profits.
And Patrick Faba had even deeper misgivings. The 5-term College Area representative and career teacher who has recently returned to the classroom says marijuana usage has had a detrimental effect on the youth.
Let me class it as an observation that in the black and Hispanic south side of Belize City, marijuana has taken a negative toll on our citizenry. Now, to the point that our young people especially cannot function. And I am not necessarily speaking against legalizing marijuana, but I am speaking against a government who would do things like that. Do things like what is going to happen in Kikaka without putting on the guardrails when you know how very dangerous this can be.
And the UDP also does not support the proposed 13th Amendment. The area rep for Queen Square said it is criminalizing poverty.
From attending the public consultation, I can say that one statistics is glaring. There's only 425 active gang members in Belize, and that statistics came from the police department itself. That represents 1% of this nation population of around 400,000 people. Now, for 1% of this nation, we are willing to change the entire constitution. I say no to that. I say no to the 13th Amendment, and this entire nation should join me in saying no to it. It's really just a constitutional band-aid. You see, when there's bloody weekends in Belize City, the government will jump out and declare a state of emergency to cover the entire blood by putting people in prison. It will never solve the murders. The murders happened before the state of emergency. We need to deal with the root cause. I say this is not justice. This is criminalizing poverty.
Reports tell us that the 13th Amendment also has some influential ministers in cabinet who opposed it when it was tabled there yesterday. In other news, small business owners and entrepreneurs turned out today to take advantage of the tax amnesty program that was launched earlier this week by the Belize Tax Service. They have included the program as a service under their MSME Roadshow, and some of those who went in to apply today got their certificates of approval. Jo Marie Lanza has this story.
Artisans, musicians, and business owners flocked to the Belize City Civic Center this morning to take advantage of the services being offered at the MSME Roadshow, principally the MSME Amnesty Program. Their director spoke with us at the event about today's turnout.
So as you can see, all the different stations are occupied at presently. So the process is that people have to go to SBDC first to register, get a number, and then they verify with if they already have their business certificate, they skip that process and they go to tax. So far this morning since just after 8, we have registered 15 new taxpayers. And we have had, I think, about just under 10 persons just come in to verify if they are eligible, meaning if their registration date was from March 7, 2023 to present. So you can see from the background, we're quite busy there assisting others, but there's an entire process to go through. I believe we've completed our first approval for the amnesty program, and that company has, or business has qualified. So they are now waiting to get their amnesty certificate, and that will be uploaded in our system. So it's going pretty good right now. Everybody is just trying to settle in, but as you look around, you can see that people keep flowing in, and I think it's going to be very, very, it's going to be fruitful for us today.
One of the first to receive their certificate of approval was Belize Caribbean Tours, who have been in operation since 2022 as a tour operator at the 4th Street Tourism Village. Their director told us how the program will assist them in expanding their business.
I believe it was a great opportunity for our company, Belize Caribbean Tours, and what the taxis doing along with Beltrade in partnering to get a lot of businesses formulated with business tax, because a lot of us didn't know the processes and procedures to go through in order to do this. It makes you get a better understanding of the of what's going on, and as well, the exemption helps a lot within when you have to pay back taxes. It helps a lot. So it helps ease the expenses for that entire year that we've been exempted for.
But she says that once they come out to see for themselves how beneficial and headache saving it can really be, she hopes other small business owners will change their mind and feel the need to get formalized as well.
It's important that not from a tax perspective, but from a business perspective, it's important that small businesses come in and make use of this opportunity. It's an opportunity for your business to grow. It's an opportunity for your business to be able to apply for other initiatives that the government may offer once you formalize, because many times your business cannot grow because you don't formalize. And it's a real good initiative for business, small businesses specifically, to start to expand, because many times business remains small. We don't want them to remain small. We want them to move up, move to medium, move to large, but your business has to grow. So formalize and make use of the initiative, and I think that's very good right now.
Jo Marie Lanza, 7 News.
The MSME Roadshow travels to the Corozal Civic Center tomorrow. And we take a break now. When we come back, we'll tell you why Bolido users can't buy their lucky numbers tonight. Don't go away.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
I'm Randall Friesen and I manage Westwell Produce, better known as Granny's Foods. That's our main brand. So we offer high quality grains, beans, rice, and we also offer corn chips made from 100% locally grown corn. We saw a need for high quality locally produced products. A lot of the best products are being exported, and we said, we need to keep some of the best products here in Belize rather than export everything. Atlantic Bank has helped us achieve our goals by providing the financing for us to be able to launch products faster than we would without the financing that they offer. We find that Atlantic Bank is very customer friendly, especially with small and medium-sized businesses. We find that Atlantic Bank is more than willing to go the extra mile. They try to understand your business. So when we go to Atlantic Bank with a certain need, we find that they try to develop a solution that will meet our specific need. I would encourage any small business owner to go to Atlantic Bank for their financial services. They're very friendly, and just overall, their service is excellent.
It is a pleasure really for me to join you here today in an important milestone in Belize's journey towards sustainable transportation, where we officially hand over these 3 intercity buses to the management contract that will be the Westline Bus Company.
This project is directly aligned with Belize's raised ambition under its updated nationally determined contribution to the UN and its low emission development strategy. And we are very happy to support these national commitments and ensuring that Belize can meet its targets for climate action and for sustainable development as a whole, while modernizing its transport sector.
I'm happy that Westline was chosen as the first private partner of the government of Belize. We worked very hard in putting this project together. We think that it is about time that the transport industry in Belize improves.
We here, all of us, can share in the vision of one day in Belize very soon, in the next few years. We do not have to be subjected to a mediocre, substandard bus service for our people. One of the messages we want to take from here today is that when we work together, when we're not afraid to imagine and see that if we work together, we can turn these things into reality.
Years ago, the stage went dark for Shine Barrow.
Shine Jamal Barrow is back in Belize.
But he never wanted to be here.
I don't want to be in Belize. Grant me a visa. Being a parliamentarian was not my ambition in life. I could very well be a billionaire right now. I could have very well sold hundreds of millions of records more.
So he used us, first to get a diplomatic visa, so he could film a multi-million-dollar vanity project about his own greatness. We saw where his priorities were.
In the middle of the campaign season, Barrow flew out of the country en route to New York City.
He never cared about us. And now that they've let him back in,
We are going to do 2 more albums because we have a TV series coming out.
so that's what it was all about. That's why he's held our opposition hostage, why he's given more power to the most despotic government in Belize's history, and why we as a nation have no hope for the future. So now, Shine, you've gotten what you've always wanted.
Hello, Bibs. New York City.
It's time you do the honorable thing and step down.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
Welcome to the V Department Store. We are conveniently located on Coney Drive in Belize City. That's right on Coney Drive in Belize City. At the V Department Store, we offer a wide variety of groceries, cosmetics, kitchen appliances, kitchenware, electronics, and more. We've also recently expanded to the second floor to better meet your household and office furniture needs. We now have a wide variety of furniture, home decor, and accessories. We have a shared vision for a comfortable and customer-friendly shopping experience. Visit us today and be warmly greeted by our reasonable prices and cordial staff. The V Department Store. Experience the ultimate shopping destination.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7. This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
I'm Randall Friesen and I manage Westwell Produce. better known as Granny's Foods. That's our main brand. So we offer high quality grains, beans, rice, and we also offer corn chips made from 100% locally grown corn. We saw a need for high quality locally produced products. A lot of the best products are being exported, and we said, we need to keep some of the best products here in Belize rather than export everything. Atlantic Bank has helped us achieve our goals by providing the financing for us to be able to launch products faster than we would without the financing that they offer. We find that Atlantic Bank is very customer friendly, especially with small and medium-sized businesses. We find that Atlantic Bank is more than willing to go the extra mile. They try to understand your business. So when we go to Atlantic Bank with a certain need, we find that they try to develop a solution that will meet our specific need. I would encourage any small business owner to go to Atlantic Bank for their financial services. They're very friendly, and just overall, their service is excellent.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Bolido regulars are in a panic this evening because the nationwide network of Bolido vending machines are down. One vendor tells us it was a standard system update that should have been fixed already. But the fix was delayed when there was an issue with one of the phone companies interfacing with the devices. As we understand it, technicians are working and expect to resolve the issue before the draw at 9:10 p.m. On the news tonight, you've heard a lot of complaining from the opposition about a lack of government transparency. Their main issue is with a cabinet release from yesterday, but cabinet confidentiality is a standard practice for all PUDP governments. Today, Panton hinted that she would change that. Now, we don't usually put much stock in what politicians promise, but it's important to get it on record.
Cabinet swears on its oath of confidentiality. It's the meeting of cabinet, and the matters before cabinet are confidential and therefore cannot be disclosed. Jules, I want you to hold me to this. When I become the next Prime Minister of this country, I will work to a more open government, because the cabinet's business is the people's business.
And the leader of the opposition hit a lighter note today when she spoke about the reason for her pink outfit on the 1st of October.
I want to say that I wore this color deliberately. Today marks the beginning of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And the statistic is that 1 in every 3 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. In my family, the statistic is 2 out of 3. Both my mother and my older sister are survivors of breast cancer. And I like to take this opportunity and this platform to urge women and men to get their annual screenings. Early detection means that you have a better chance of fighting this insidious disease.
And keeping it on health, in her remarks today, Senator Sheena Pitt spoke about public, NHI, and private health care and the shortfalls in the public system.
How is it that in Belize the structure for health care is clear to see that we do not have tertiary healthcare system accessible to Belizeans. All we have, and let me say this, the UDP is not against healthcare workers, you know. The UDP is not against healthcare professionals. And I have to be clear, and we have to be able to show the dichotomy of views. We promote and we support healthy competition in the market, but let us be critical that in our healthcare structure, what we have seen is private individuals being able to tap into the healthcare market in the name of healthy competition and compete against established healthcare institutions. Make us say it another way. We have NHI clinic, they pop up here and there and everywhere, which is good. But go and check, and you will see the preponderance of the connection between the healthcare professionals in those institutions and in the pharmacies to their political ideology is no accident. And that is fine. It can never be that the only way for you to secure health care, you have to go to a private institution. It can never be that for you to receive health care at a satisfactory level, you must pay for your own syringe, your own gauze, your own pain medication.
And this wing of the UDP held that press conference at its headquarters, which is on Euphrates Avenue. It's also Area Rep Lee Mark Chang's divisional office, where he's opened a learning center and is offering government 10 years rent-free for a job placement center.
What happened is I have been in communication with the LIU department, and they deal with gang-related youths, you know, the guys that need training and stuff like that. I've also visited the IT vet in Belize because I believe the programs are a little bit too long, and I made some recommendations that we need shorter programs. You know, that these guys that won't stay 6 to 12 months in a school, but we could teach them the basics within three months, and we could get it done. And also, one of the objectives is that a lot of them cannot cross into certain areas, and we all know that, and it's very dangerous for them. So what best to put it in the center of the area where it could benefit all Southside residents.
So this is top floor. Where is it exactly?
Okay, the ground floor is where I have my constituency office. The second floor is where we have our computer center. We're preparing it right now with the computers and after school. I'm working with one of my good friends, a principal, and so she is helping me set up the classrooms fit for students and stuff like that. So we'll have a safe space for them after school that they could access computers and things for the Mesopotamia constituency. Also, in the top floor, I had it that I wanted to deal with the young men and women in the area where we could do job trainings. But of course, we're in opposition, so it's very hard for us to get things done. So I was lobbying LIU. Sometimes maybe, you know, the lead politics, they're afraid, you know, and I guess I just have to put it out there for saying, you know what, this is not personal. This is for the country, this is for the area, the Southside area, and we hope that government will take my offer and I tell a free rent. I could easily get, what, $1,200, maybe $1,500 for the floor, but I believe that giving back to the community is more important for the future of Belize.
Chang told us today that government has not taken him up on the rent-free offer. The Loreto Pelayo Quartet is bringing back a night of jazz at the Bliss, featuring Ryan, Devlin, and Ian Ashby as guests in their performance. Pelayo gave more details on the concert and what makes this particular performance unlike anything they have ever done before. Tickets can be purchased at the Bliss Center. General admission starts at $50. And that's all Newscast for tonight. Thanks for watching. With your news, I'm Indra Craig. Remember, you can find a full transcript of the news at 7newsrelease.com and see the streaming video on our Facebook or YouTube pages. Have a pleasant evening and join me back here tomorrow at 6.